Hi, it's been a while since I made a video. I'm actually going to be filming 2 videos tonight. I tried to shoot it all in one go and I rambled so much it got up to being way too long. So I'm just going to separate it into the 2 parts that it's already in. And this is misconceptions about marriage. And I'm talking about marriages between the ages of 18 and 20. People who get married between that. Most people are like, don't do it, it's not a good idea. Sometimes it's not. But I'm going to talk about the marriage between those ages. And also, for some, I'm actually going to be talking about just marriage in general. So, yeah. Alright, so this is from teens' point of view, and I actually did ask a lot of people that I know, and I did ask, a couple people that I didn't really know, and then I looked it up on the computer to find out, that what they think. So, starting with teens, and my next one will be the adults' point of view of it. Okay, so teens. I'm talking about teens as in from 13 to about 18. 18 or 19. These are the general misconceptions that they have. Some of them are negative and some of them are positive. Alright, so starting out with number 1. If you get pregnant, you will get married. I don't know why this is such a misconception with, 16 and pregnant and teen mom, teen mom 2 or whatever. It doesn't mean you're going to actually get married. It really doesn't. It just means that you're going to have a kid. You're going to be responsible for another human being. You're not going to be married for sure. You're not going to live happily ever after like a pretty little princess. It doesn't work like that. Okay. 2. You will either always be fighting or never fight. And I should probably mention I'm going to be using my marriage as sort of a baseline here. You won't always be fighting. Like, it's not like it's never gonna happen. You won't always be fighting though, unless you guys have some serious problems together. You won't be fighting all the time. It'll just be kind of, you guys had a bad day, somebody did something wrong, started snapping at each other randomly. I know I do that to my husband a lot. So, you won't always be fighting, but, don't think that it's never going to happen, because somebody's going to step on somebody's toes and they're going to fight. Or you're going to fight, whatever. 3. Once you get married, you lose all your chances at a real life. I'm assuming by real life, they mean, going out to parties, hanging out with just your friends, being away from your significant husband, wife, whatever. Or, going to the movies and hanging out, just, being a normal teenager or being a normal adult. I hang out with my friends all the time. Okay. My husband and I are perfectly fine with going and hanging out with our, friends. And it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, I still come home to him every night, and that's the big difference between me and my friends. I come home to my husband, they go home to their parents. Or I come home to my husband, they go home to a cat. There's a difference, but there's not that big of a difference. Yes, I am married. No, I will not be fooling around with anybody. But, I still have a life. Okay? because I sit on YouTube all the time doesn't mean I don't have a life. It just means I'm a very, very boring person and I barely have a life. But that happened before I got married. Okay. 4. You will either always be together or hardly ever. That is not true. I'm sorry, but that is not true. I don't know how to explain this. Explained this earlier when I was trying this the first time, but I can't explain this time. You're not always going to be together because somebody needs to have a job, okay? And if you guys both have a job, you should try and, you know, work it out so you guys are generally working the same hours. So, my husband, if he went to work at about 9 o'clock, I would probably end up going to work at about 9:30. You know, and then he gets home around, you know, 4 o'clock or, you know, whenever. And I'd get home soon after or right before, you know. You work out your schedule so that you guys will actually be able to see each other. It won't be, you know, choosing your job or your husband to hang out with. Just, you'll spend time together, but it won't be all the time. How about that? That's a pretty good explanation. Okay. Number 5. Divorce is impossible if you have a kid. I have no idea why it is that kids, or rather teens, still think that this is possible. Just because you have a kid does not mean you are not going to get divorced. My parents had 4 kids together. And they got divorced. Okay? Just because you have kids together does not mean you are going to be together forever and divorce is not possible. I especially don't understand this when the kid comes from a family where the parents got divorced. It makes no sense to me. I have no idea why people think this. I have no idea why it is that most of them believe it. Like, full-heartedly believe it. I have no idea. But divorce is still possible. It doesn't matter if you have a kid with each other or not. Number 6. It will either be a real good day or it will be a real bad day. No. Just because you had a crappy morning doesn't mean your afternoon's gonna be shit, does it? I mean, sure, there are days where it feels like, you know, everything has gone to hell and nothing's gonna help at all, but can't explain this one very well either. Bad days happen to everybody, but by the end of the day, don't you usually feel better? At least just a little bit. My husband and I have not had a real bad day together. Like, we've had, you know, bad days, we've had good days, you know. So, but the bad days are just because, you know, we fought once or twice, you know. It doesn't, it doesn't make the whole day bad, and it doesn't make the whole day good. It's just, Number 7, the only dates you'll go on will be birthdays and anniversaries. That's actually not true. Most people who get married actually set apart at least one night a month, one night every 2 months, you know, so on and so forth. They do go out more often than just birthdays and anniversaries. My husband and I try and go out at least once every couple weeks because, you know, we feel like we deserve to have some relaxation time and enjoy ourselves and go on a date and enjoy each other. But it's not always, you know, movies and dinner and, you know, walk on the beach or whatever. No. Sometimes we consider a date, I make him dinner and we sit and watch a movie by ourselves in our living room. Okay? And that's it. that's how a lot of dates end up being with a lot of married people. But it's the simple dates that stick in your mind a little bit longer than, you know, he spent $90 on dinner and $20 on movies. Oh my goodness! I don't care if I've seen the movie a million times. If he starts it in the middle of it, I don't care. We still consider it a date. Because we're spending time together, focusing on each other, and doing nothing else. Okay, number 8. Once you're married, you'll let yourself go. No. It's not how it always is. There are some girls who, you know, they feel they don't have to impress anybody anymore, so they'll let themselves go. That's not how it always is. Like me, I have not let myself go. The only reason I'm getting big is because I'm pregnant, and that's normal. So, you won't just let yourself go just because you're married. Okay, still try and look hot for your husband, come on. At least stay within 3 dress sizes of where you were, or 5, you know, if he doesn't mind that. Just try and stay, you know, within a reasonable limit. If you can't help letting yourself go, whatever. But if you just think, don't gotta impress anybody anymore anyway, let yourself go, not a smart thing to do, in my opinion. A lot of women do it, and their husbands are perfectly fine. But I've seen some people who just, they really hate that, so they'll leave. I've known a few people like that. Okay. Anyways, that's it for the teens. I'm going to film the adults next, so go ahead and look for that one next and see what adults' point of view is a lot like towards marriage between the ages of 18 and 20. Alright, a good whatever time it is there. Bye.